So we did a paper airplane competition. This is our debrief.
Start again.
Sorry. So our command task is a paper airplane competition, and then this is our brief. So Rachel, Katie, and Abby.
So you're in a classroom, and there's a runway going diagonally down the middle. There'll be a bin at the end of the runway, and a fan on one of the tables on the side. The hazards are tripping over the bags, the fan, like moving paper and everything. So there's the bin, which will be over there. The door will be on the left-hand side, and we'll arrange the tables to go diagonally down, and then the team will stand at the end and throw the paper airplane into the bin.
So this is the situation. You are on a mission for the army. You get trapped and you've got injured personnel. So therefore that means you are on an island and you cannot get back across without being seen by the enemy. Your task means that you will be able to get a message across the river to get to the mainland via a plane that you will have to build. And this message will need to land in a safe area, so therefore you will not get compromised. So your mission is to build a paper airplane that can travel across the river, or runway, to get to the safe zone, which will be on the mainland. Then this means that you need to launch the plane to get as close as possible to that destination. Okay, so for the execution, we've got a basic list of instructions. I'm going to go through how to build a basic paper airplane for people who don't know how to build one. So we've got a sheet of paper. Got to fold it in half lengthways, like that. So it's like this, and then fold in the top corners into the centre. Like that. And then you take this corner into the middle, so it goes down, like that. And then these ones come back into the middle again, like that, and then you just fold the wings down to the edge. So this is like the basic paper airplane, and once you've done that, you're going to stand at the end of the runway and then throw it down to down the runway to the bin. And you can put it's up to your group where you want to put the fan, but it's got to be on one of the tables facing inwards onto the runway. So in the groups, you've got one person in your group to take control, like the flying actual plane. You've all got to build it, like participate in building the plane, but one person's going to throw it and the other people can stand behind them and give directions or like advice on where they can throw it. We're going to start the timer, and it's going to be a sound on someone's phone to signal when it starts, and then when the time's up, the sound is going to go off again, and then you can't make any changes to the plane after that. And you can just communicate to each other in a group using your voice, and you can't confer with other people in other groups to give away what you're doing.
So to do this mission, you'll need paper, which is provided, pens if you would like to write a little message on it, and scissors and tape if you want to make modifications.
So the training aid, this is just, we're going to leave this up whilst you do the task, and these are just some examples of some different types of paper airplanes you can look at. Obviously we're not going to show you how to make them because you need to sort of think about yourself in your groups, but you can look at them and sort of use them as like guidance for making the planes. And it's up to you which one you pick and which materials you use. Obviously you've got to consider like the weight of the plane and stuff to get it into the bin, otherwise it's not going to work so well. So you need to think about your health and safety. So what you want to do is you want to make sure everyone is clear of the runway, so therefore there's no injuries, no one gets hit by the plane because it could go in someone's eye and that could hurt. No aiming at each other, please, because obviously that will cause injury. Don't lock the doors, that is a fire hazard as it's the only way out of the room. Keep windows closed so you don't have any objects going out of it or in. And please, if you're using scissors, hold them correctly when walking.
If people start messing around and throwing the paper airplanes at people, then we will have to press up sort of some other form of punishment on either side. And when we put the tables in this diagonal line, there's going to be a gap between like the door there, so you can get out in case of any problems.
Any questions?
Is there a set way that you've got to do something, or can you use your imagination?
Use your imagination.
Yeah, but we've just put, if anyone who doesn't know at all how to use it, you can use it like the guidance or... Yeah.
And you're on hand to go around and help people as well?
Yeah, but we won't give away.
How many turns do you get to throw the paper airplane into the bin?
One, which is why you've got to choose your best plane out of the four, like your group, and you've got to choose the person who's the best aim.
Do we get practice runs? Because how would you know who the best person is?
Yes, you do. Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, so our task is the casualty cone challenge, and I'm Ellie.
I mean,
I'm Sam.
I'm Charlie.
The ground. The classroom will be split into 3 different section runways. We'll each have a stack of cones on between 1 and 5. To the left is the door, and to the right is a line of windows. At the back of the classroom is the medical centre, and the front is the whiteboard and the computer desk.
This will be the layout of the classroom when it's all set up. So in a minute, after we've gone through our brief, we'll need you to set this up for us. So 4 tables will need to be down that side of the classroom, 4 down this side, and the 3 cones up here, as well as the, I don't know if you can see it, the medical centre down the very end.
Situation is there's 5 casualties that have been hurt at war. Your task is to get them to the back of the classroom where the medical centre is as quickly as you can. You have a maximum of 5 minutes, and the cones are stacked on top of each other between the numbers 1 and 5. Casualty number 5 is very seriously injured and has lost both his legs. Cone number 4 is also seriously injured and lost 1 leg. Cone number 3 has lost an arm. Cone number 2 has seriously bad burns with a broken arm. And number 1 just has a broken arm, slightly injured.
Okay, so the overall mission is that you have to get the casualties to the hospital as quickly as possible, because if you don't, then someone could have a chance of dying or losing a lot of blood. You must put a higher number on top of the lower numbered like cones, else you won't be able to complete the task properly.
so cone 5 always has to be at the bottom of the pile. So you'll start with the number of cones going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 downwards. And number 1 has to go on top to start with. So that's just a little help. So you have to take number 1 off. But when you put your cones at the medical centre at the bottom, it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. So it has to be the same order as you took it off and the same order at the cone. You have 3 stations. So you have a cone at the front of the classroom, a cone in the middle of the classroom, and a cone at the back. You should end up with all of your 5 cones in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in the middle cone in the classroom. You have to then pick them up and take them to the medical centre to be seen.
You can communicate in any way you want. It's not a simple task, so I'd advise you to not talk over each other, work as a team, and just use your initiative really, and just work as hard as you can.
So the kit list is you have 5 cones, so there'll be 15 altogether because we'll do it in 3 groups. You'll have a table at the back of the room which will be the medical centre. You can have paper and a pen to help you work out the solution if you get stuck, like you can write down ideas or where you are, and you have a timer because you only have 5 minutes to complete the task, so you know how long you're going to have left.
So if you get stuck along any point, because it obviously is quite a hard challenge in a short amount of time, we do have some tips and some help or some advice that we can offer you along the way, as well as trying to ask you questions to make you think, like, is 1 supposed to be there, or what do you need to do? So we can come along and help you if you do need help or get stuck at any point. but we are not going to give away too much of the task because you do need to use your initiatives and work as a team.
Health and safety, just a few rules to keep said. No running. Also trip hazards have to be pushed to the side, so bags underneath the tables, and also your laces done up properly. Also don't stack chairs on top of tables because they could fall down and tuck them underneath the tables. Also keep fire doors shut and easy access to leave the classroom.
Any questions?
Is there no questions at all?
Clearly a good brief. No, you've got any questions? Okay, thank you.
This is our command task. It's an obstacle course. My name is Tom.
I'm Poppy.
And I'm Pete. So for the layout, we're going to have a table, so you have to go under the table, under two chairs, over a table, around the chairs, and then finally under the table. You have to shout "resonate" loudly to finish the exercise.
So this is the layout. So these are tables that we're going to arrange into the obstacle course, and so we're getting them. So you have to go under this one, and these yellow blocks are chairs. So what do you have to do?
Under the
You have to go under the chairs, crawl under them, and so you go under the table, crawl through these chairs, over the table, you zigzag on these chairs, and then go under that table, and then you're done. That's the layout.
So the situation, we're all working in a science lab, and you've been involved in an accident. So what's happened is you've got acid in your eyes, but only some members of the team have it. Okay, so you've got to guide them through the course, and you've got people who can see, and they're going to guide people who can't see. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to put you in 2 groups of 5, and 3 of you can be blinded, and the other 2 can be guiding you. To get out of the building, you have to go through the safe route, which is the obstacle course. And to make sure you get through safely and quickly, the 3 blind people always have to be touching. Some of the rules we have is the 3 people have to be touching all the time. If they break, then there's a 5-second penalty, which obviously gives the other team a better advantage. The 2 people guiding them can only communicate verbally, so you can't touch them at all, or put their feet under the places and make it easier. And yeah, the 3 blind people can't speak.
Yeah, so the 3 people can't speak, they have to just be guided by the other 2 people who can see, and they're going to be guiding them with their voice, telling them how to do the obstacle course. So the kit list for this is, all you need to do is have some form of blindfold, like a jumper or a hoodie, that you can use to impair your vision to complete the task.
So the training aid, crawling under chairs represents crawling through the tunnels. Climbing over a table represents the bodies that you might be climbing over. Crawling under tables is the barbed wire, so you've got to get underneath the barbed wire without touching the top of the table. So you're going to get snagged. And then going around the chairs is the mines that you have to go around. And you can't touch anything during the exercise, otherwise it's quite dangerous.
Health and safety. So when you're crawling under the obstacles, keep your head down so you don't hit it on anything. We advise the army crawl we did in survival, do that to move at a slow pace, it's a race, but don't rush. Nobody it's a competition, but nobody get in the way of everyone else's course. Make sure it's clear. And when you're crawling on the carpet, if you have a jacket or something, put that on in case you get carpet burn. Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions?
Yeah, why didn't you listen to me about the uniformity bit? About everybody looking the same.
I thought you said everyone, you didn't want anyone to look.
Did everybody else understand what I meant?
Yeah, I'm a bit slow, so. Smart hoodie though.
Yeah, it's very much it. So, yeah.
Okay, so the command task we chose to do is called Grenade Trick Shot, and I'm Scott.
I'm Tommy. I'm Will. Okay, so the ground is the doors on the left as you walk into the room. There's a row of windows straight in front of you. The tables will be around the edge of the room, and the whiteboard on the far right as you walk in. A couple of hazards as well, including tripping over bags and tables and coats, and the fire exit has to be kept uncovered in case of emergency to get out, and obviously no running, that's a trip hazard as well.
But because we're not great at IT and we haven't put the floor plan on there with 2 handouts, so I've got to use the handouts. It's exactly what Tommy said, but the tables on the sides of the room with the chairs tucked in, obviously for hazards, so you can do the exercise straight down the middle.
If you'd like to pass those handouts round when you're finished with them.
Yeah. So the situation, you're in a war zone, you're pinned down behind a wall, we'll have to use a table or something for that. You can't see where the enemies are, however you've got soldiers or people in your group who have a better vantage point and are describing where to throw the grenade.
So your mission is to relieve pressure on your force by throwing your grenades at the enemies. Obviously you can't see what you're doing, it's coming out of your head, hence why it's a command task. You're trying to get them into the hoops, which are like the building windows, that's what we're using it sort of as an example for. And, well yes, but I don't really.
Yeah, so the execution, you'll be standing with your back to the hoop, so when all the tables are moved out of the way, there'll be 3 hoops at different distances down the middle of the thing. You have 3 attempts for each team, so you have to pick your best thrower, for example, and you'll be given 3 big bags?
Yeah.
3 big bags?
Yeah.
And you have to try and hit each hoop, so each time you get different points for hitting each hoop. And your team will be guiding you to where you'll throw the big bags. It'll be 4 groups of 3, I think, so everyone will have a go in that 10 minutes.
Okay, so we'll obviously be talking to the class, we'll be giving you guidance verbally as well as your teammates, and we need 3 hoops, 3 beanbags, we need a PowerPoint slide obviously and a computer, but all you will need is a blindfold, and that's optional if you want to make the task harder for yourself.
Yeah, so if all the teams want to make it a little bit more difficult, we'll have to use either jumpers or whatever someone's got to blindfold them, and then they can try it that way as well. For the train name, there wasn't much we could use, so we did different types of grenade. You had the fragmentation grenade, which is like the main one, which blows people to pieces pretty much. You had the illuminating grenade, which what's the word? It brightens the area like at night, so you can see where you're going. Chemical grenades, that'd be like flashbangs that would blind people, would like be a distraction.
Yeah, just a couple of health and safety things. Put bags and cuts under the table just to make sure there's no trip hazards. Tables all to the side of the room, so again reducing trip hazards and therefore injuries. The door has to be clear at all times, fire escapes in case of emergency. No running, walking in the room, so if you run into anyone, knock anyone over. Obviously bad, don't throw the big bags at each other either, because that's just stupid and that will cause injury as well.
You'll be punished.
Yeah, you will be punished, 20 burpees.
Last but not least, does anybody have any questions?
That's not a question. Any questions? No. Rachel,
Oh, I've got a question.
it's fine.
Go on.
So you said that because you're obviously standing with your back to the hula hoops.
Mm.
Do you all have a go, or is it just one person in your team?
So no, you have one. You each get a go. So everyone on your team. So it's 4 groups of 3. So you all stand. You all get a go. Commanded the person throwing it. You'll get a go at throwing it as well. Over here.
It's good. We don't have only having 10 minutes. You won't be able to do it as well as you would if you had as much time as you wanted. So you have to limit it down as best we could.
Any other questions?
Was it the rest of the team that was blindfolded when the person was throwing?
No, just
Or
the
the
person
person throwing because
Just the person throwing.
Sure, it doesn't make any sense if they've got their back.
would the team have to help them know where to
Case
throw?
of cheaters.
Yeah, it's basically just to ensure that you don't look over your shoulder and stuff.
But you said it was me. Okay.
It's a hard because you can't cheat.
Oh, okay.
This is our activity and it's called bomb disposal. I'm Robin.
I'm James. So the ground is, the classroom's like a rectangular shape. All the tables will be pushed to the side. The tables, the chairs and all the bags will be pushed underneath, and there'll be a clear space in the middle for the activity to take place.
So yeah, like James said, there'll be a clear space in the middle to do the activity. The door is on the left. We'll make sure it's clear so that in case there's any problems you can all get out.
So the situation is you're all training to learn how to use this new super glue bomb, and one of you accidentally set the bomb off and you're all stuck to it, and except from the people in charge. And, yeah. So your mission is you've got 5 minutes, everyone will be tangled up, linking arms, and the bomb is the hoop on someone's arm, and you've got to untangle yourselves and get the bomb to the instructors to disarm it, otherwise you're all going to blow up. Bomb touches the floor, it blows up as well.
You do not start until the time started. Everyone must be linking their arms properly, and you do this in the middle of the classroom to prevent an injury. 2 claps means the bomb has been exploded. Verbal communication will be you have to give verbal communication if your knees drop.
So to do this, you won't start until the timer has started, so you have 5 minutes. Everyone must be linked diagonally, not straight, make it harder.
Kit list, we'll have 1 small hoop, and you have to be in the classroom.
So the training aids, so you don't want to drop the bomb, otherwise you'll be reduced to your knees, because it'll blow your legs off, and that makes it a lot harder. You want to try and focus on untangling 1 person at a time to make it a bit simpler, and I'd recommend electing a leader to take over and instruct.
Health and safety, no running,